Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ocenaika TV and welcome to the House of Rebirth. I am your house mother, Ocenaika Rebirth. Yes, it's so great to have you. We're going to get into some things. We're going to talk. We're going to chat. This is my first official YouTube video on this channel, and there's more to come, like fashion videos and days of my life and weeks of my life. I'm just so excited. I can't wait to share. So it's so good. I'm so glad to see everyone. Hello, Legion. That's my fan base name if you didn't know. We're called the Legion, and it's great to have you. So today will be the start of a new series on my channel called The Artist's Way, The Way to Creative Recovery. This book is by Julia Cameron, and I just started this book. I just completed week 1. It's been a ride, honey. So a little bit of a backstory. I recently put out an EP. It's called Rebirth. Go listen to it now. I have no money, so if you'd like to buy it, it would be amazing. Anyways, so I recently put in an EP, and all the music I've worked on after, or let me just stop being nervous, girl. So basically, I put out an EP. It's called Rebirth, and after that, I tried to put out a mixtape that I finished. Like I had a couple more songs to write, and then record, and then I could get it mixed and whatever. It didn't work out because I didn't connect to that EP. I didn't connect to that mixtape, right? Ugh. The mixtape was just not what I wanted to put out. So I just decided to scrap that mixtape, and all the music I've been doing has been uninspired to me. To me, it has been uninspired and kind of boring. And I've been trying to get back into my creativity. So shout out to Dochi. I was watching her creative recovery series, and that's how I found out about this book. And I was like, if she can do it, I can do it too. So I had decided to go buy this book, The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and I just completed week 1, and it was a ride, honey. She basically told us to do morning pages every day, every morning, and we had assignments and tasks to do for the week, and we had to complete it by the end of the week. So I recently started on Tuesday, and today's Tuesday, and I just finished week 1. Before we get into what I've decided, what I've come to, and going into week 2, I just wanted to speak about the House of Rebirth. So welcome to the House of Rebirth. I'm your house mother. I'm Ocenaika Rebirth. So yeah. Shout out to the Legion. That's my fan base. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say that. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say that. But whatever. Just let the people know. Um, yeah. I'm just. Oh my gosh. I cannot speak. I'm too scared to speak. Okay, so this is what I really wanted to say. This is some real stuff I wanted to say before I get into that. Recently, during my recovery, I decided to cut everyone off. Yeah, I decided to cut everyone off and limit their access to me. And basically, what I did was just stop talking to people, just stop calling people. And this is like the second day, and I'm kind of failing because I'm getting the urge to call my friend, but I'm not going to, you know what I mean? And I think it's really great for the people who are able to just limit access to themselves and just disappear. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to disappear and just work and just be to myself. And it's okay to be alone. Okay, honey, it's okay to be alone. It's okay to be by yourself. And that's what I'm basically trying to accomplish. Just be by myself and grow into the person I want to be, you know what I mean? I had other things to talk about, but basically that was the first point. My second point was that it's okay to stop talking to people, and you don't have to feel bad for, hey, missing a birthday or just pulling back, because girl, that was a really shitty example. Wish your friends a happy birthday, girl. Um, what I was really trying to say was, um, to it was to not be a people pleaser and not to go out your way to do things for people even though you don't want to, or saying things to please other people. That's what I was trying to say. Not don't say something about somebody's birthday, girl. Anyways, because I feel like I've been too accessible and doing too much and doing this and doing that and doing this and trying to be um, good to other people, while all the while inside my mind I am not being good to myself. Um, and basically, the reason why I brought up the House of Rebirth is because I want to create a space where anyone and everyone, no matter who you are or what you look like or if you wear wigs or not, to a space where you can be free, authentically yourself, and happy, and leave all your vices at the door and just be happy. And when you are ready to share your sadness and your heartbreak and things like that, you have like a big family to do that. And I really wanted to emphasize that with the House of Rebirth, and this is the House of Rebirth. And yeah, and the House of Rebirth is basically, so let's get into this creative recovery book, week 1. So basically, Miss Julia. Miss Julia. mhm, Her name is Miss Julia. These sisters now. She makes us sign a contract in the book. I don't want to reveal too much what's inside the book in case you guys want to do something like this. But she made us sign a contract, and basically that contract entailed that we agree that we will let the creative recovery happen naturally and things of that nature. Hold on, I'm trying to find the stupid. Oh, bitch, where is that contract? Oh, so basically, um, what this was we had to sign a contract, and we had to understand that we were about to encounter our monsters and our demons and our self-doubt, and to find our creative artists and find the inner creative within ourselves. And we had to be one with the ultimate creator, which is God. And if you guys don't believe in God, that's fine. That's fine. But I do, so that's just that. But if you don't, that's fine. Well, whoever you think is the greater creator, you just, yeah. And we had to agree, and there was this thing called artist date, where we take ourselves on a little date as an artist, and you do things for yourself. And basically you do things for yourself and you buy things, or you mm, where you basically do things to better yourself and things like that, like, or buy things like stickers, a notebook, something to write down all your thoughts. So basically week 1 was recovering a sense of safety, and that, so week 1 was basically recovering a sense of safety, and that means well, building a sense of hope and making our minds a safe place, diminishing self-doubt, and trying to weave through all the horrible thoughts and bad thoughts we have in our mind, and being able to allow our creative to be safe in a space where we're able to create freely. And that was week 1. That was week 1. I was trying to do that, girl. I always have self-doubt, like I'm not good at this and I'm not good at that and good at that. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. So basically, every morning we had to write a morning page about thoughts in our head, anything that came to mind, like, oh, blah, 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 blah. I have to take out the garbage today. And that's basically what we had to do for the full week. That was one thing that we had to do for the full week, and I'll tell you how that helped me in a minute while we go through the next task. And the second task was taking yourself on an artist date, which we had to just take ourselves out, get something nice, buy a notebook, buy postcards, buy things like that, things that make you happy and things that make you, the inner creative in you, spark with ideas and things like that. And then we had to time travel, list our old enemies, like somebody that said you were horrible at this or laughed at you or things like that. And I personally been through that a bunch of times where people are like, oh, this is terrible. And I remember a time, let me tell you a story. I remember a time I first recently started making music by myself because I've been making music since sixth grade, but never by myself. I've always been in a group or something. But in 2021, it was my first time making music on my own and doing this on my own. And I decided to share it. Bad idea, but I decided to share it. And everybody was like, this is so bad, and started laughing and laughing. And, I felt terrible. I felt really, really bad. Like, I felt really bad. And I was like, but I'm not going to give up, girl. I have to keep going, right? You know what I mean? And I'll get into that a little later. So, in the next one, we had to time travel again. And then we had to time travel again to one horror story from a Monster Hall of Fame. So our Monster Hall of Fame was basically our old enemies, which was the previous task to list out our old enemies, right? And then we had to time travel yet again to list our old champions and write about it and write out the compliments you got. Even if you didn't believe in those compliments, write them out, right? And then we had to time travel one more time and list out all the words of encouragement we got. And I'll get into that in a couple minutes. And then this was my favorite. The next one was to list out 5 imaginary lives that you would wish to have. And I will tell you what I wrote, but it was really fun. Like if you wanted to be a football player one day, or if you wanted to be a scuba diver in one life, or you wanted to be an actress or a musician or whatever. And then 9 was working with affirmation and blurts, which blurts are basically when you say something like you affirm yourself and you're like, I'm a great writer. And then in your head, you're like, oh, no, you're not, bitch. You're a horrible writer and you can never do this. Okay, so yeah, so we basically had to write our we had to write our affirmations out and then write the books that came with them. And then finally, we had to take ourselves on an artist walk. And yeah, I'll get into that too. And then we had to do a check-in at the end of the week. And what our check-ins are, she asked you questions like, oh, how many days a week did you write morning pages? Or how was your artist date? Or were there any issues you encountered while doing week 1? So basically, I'll tell you what happened in a couple tasks and some backstories as well. Let's start with time traveling and old enemies, right? I feel like a lot of us as artists have these bad moments where we share something that we were so scared to share, and we end up sharing it, and it doesn't go the way we planned it. Like, people hate it, and it's like, oh my gosh, they're like, you should stop, like, this is so bad. So let me talk about a time where this was still during the time I was creating music and things like that. So recently I got up on FaceTime. This is like 2 years ago. I got on FaceTime and with a friend, and I was like, hey, I have some music, and it wasn't even written, it was just a melody, and I was like, I played the melody, and she started laughing, and I started laughing too. I was like, but like that was me trying to cope with her laughing and trying to be like not awkward, because even though that really hurt me, like I'll never forget it. Like I'll never forget all that laughing. But yeah, I feel like we all have that kind of moment where we're trying to butt into our artists and we share these moments with people and they don't go the way we planned it to. And that can result in people stopping what they're doing or not believing in themselves. Girl, I continue to do it. I still do that. I still wanted to be a, like, I've come to, I've been through so much to stop, you know what I mean? Like, I've already did all this. I'm still gonna go. But, yeah, we still have those moments where we're like, oh, maybe this was not that good and great. But, like, we have to stop and think, like, this was our first time making anything. This was our first time, like, putting, like, working on this music and doing this and doing that, mixing, mastering. This was our first time. And you're never going to be great on the first time unless you're like a genius. So, you know what I mean? So that was one old Benny me that I'm willing to share. And that was a horror story that I recently shared. Let's talk about the artist date. Let's talk about that because my artist date was me going to Starbucks, getting a refresher and a croissant, and walking back to my dorm room. That was my artist date. And I feel like that was kind of stupid, but she was like, it doesn't matter what your artist state was. It just mattered if that made you feel any better and things like that. And it did. I felt refreshed, honey. I felt good. I felt real good. Um, there's a task here that was like write a letter in your defense to any of your haters or any of somebody who said something. Um, I won't go into that, but I wrote to the person that laughed at me. Girl. Yeah. Um, let's talk about a championship because I think once my really biggest championship was when I started drawing for the first time, and I showed my mom, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, this is beautiful," and she ended up enrolling me in art classes, and that really helped me understand that I am good at this, and my mom was able to see the potential within me. So why can't I? You know what I mean? So I'll be able to do that too, Annie. So let's go to the imaginary lives. The imaginary lives basically. Let me pull out my notebook. Let me pull out my notebook. um, imaginary lives, Annie. So basically, my imaginary life is I would like to live in San Francisco and be a voice actor, honey. I'd like to be married, have a boyfriend, and whatever, get married, blah, 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 and have a family down there and live a life of simplicity, you know what I mean? Because simplicity now in this life is not something I want to do and something I do not want to be a part of. I really just want to be bigger than life, larger than life, you know what I mean? But in this life, I chose was to be simplistic and still do something that is creative, but something a little more mute, you know what I mean? Um, my second life was I wanted to write it, but I was like, I already wrote this one. Let me not write it. I want to be an alien. I want to be an alien. I want to be three fingers, a pretty shade of lilac, and a big head, big eyes. I want to be an alien. So yeah, that was um that was me trying to be an alien. Mm-hmm. So the next one is let's talk about the check-in, right? How many days did I write a morning page? I wrote a morning page every day at least. At least I wrote a morning page every day at least. Sometimes I wrote it at night, a night page, and that's okay. And one time I forgot to. It was late at night, and I only wrote one page. I was supposed to write three, but I only wrote three. I only wrote. I only wrote one. Um, yeah, and I basically told you about my artist date and things like that. Let's try to. Let me tell you about what I found. Let me read. Henny, prepare yourself for some up and close and personal shots, cause I had my journal and my morning pages flipping in the front of the camera, and you guys can see what I wrote. So I decided to zoom up so you couldn't see what I wrote. So you. To you about the question was, did you encounter any issues while trying to find safety in your creative? And I think I did. I found something very special, and I really wanted to share that. I think the main thing is that I like to beat myself down, and I'm so hard on myself, which is true. I'm very hard on myself, not giving myself any grace, things like that. I recently was able to give myself grace. Um, just yesterday, I was recently being like, okay, take a breath. You're good at what you do. Just take a breath, and you know what I mean? Sometimes most of the time, I never see myself as the hero. And basically, what I mean by that is I never see myself as a good person or somebody that could be a good person. I always see myself as the villain or evil or mean or things like that. Another thing that I found is I discovered that I am woman and I am both. I am both male and female. And let me get into that. So, if you don't know me, I had no idea who I was, what I really wanted to be, who I wanted to be, and what I wanted to do, right? I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't know who I wanted to be. But recently, while watching Pose, gag, I do watch Pose, I realized that I am both. And that's really my major breakthrough through this whole thing was that I am both. And I wanted to say that to all the people out there, don't be afraid to be yourself, you know what I mean? That I really am both, and I really do see myself as both, but more women. Like, but there's a lot of things I'm working through right now, and I feel like it feels weird, but this creative recovery thing, and it's only week one, but it feels like my creative is like piecing itself back together, like slowly. And I feel like at the end of the 12 weeks, which is how long the recovery is and the program is, um, it will like fully be together and the whole picture will be together, which is crazy because I didn't even know that the 12 weeks would end on the week of my birthday. I didn't know that. I didn't even know. Like, I just started. So that's crazy to me. But basically, I don't want to keep you too long. This is basically what I found through being this creative recovery. This is so hard. Like, I'm talking all over the place and not really. I hope you understood, but like, I don't know. I just felt compelled to make this video. Um, Seeing Dochi do this was really like inspiring, and seeing her being able to find your inner creative and create a whole project. All the places we'll go. I mean, all the places you'll go was really inspiring to me because I really love that project. It's really great. That's how I found Dochi anyway. I've been watching Dochi for ever. And yeah, she is my mother. Now I am the mother. You know what I mean? But yeah. Um, this is week one. This video is kind of all over the place, as they usually are with me. I never plan anything out. I hope you understood. I hope you were able to grasp at something at least. I do recommend this book for anyone. She said, she said within this book to please share this book around to anyone you know. Well, I don't know anyone, so I'm sharing it to YouTube. So go buy this book. It's on Amazon. I don't remember how much it was. Oh, never mind. It says $36, but I didn't spend $36 for this book because that's crazy. Yeah, it's probably discounted on Amazon, or you can get it from a thrift store. Some books I have are from a thrift store, so yeah. So that's basically all I have to say. This video will go up today in honor of week one being completed. I'll be back for week two. Um, yeah, stay happy. Um, bye. This is Ocenaika signing out. Your house mother is signing out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I know this is ridiculous. I know I have my own camera. I know I have a camera. I just felt like I didn't feel like putting on any makeup and getting in front of the camera. But I am in front of the camera, but you know what I mean. Anyways, it was great talking to you guys, and hopefully this just reaches some of you. And I'm not gonna give this video any expectations. I'm not gonna keep refreshing like I usually do, and I'm not going to try to like have a. Let me get into that. Hold on one second before I close out the video. Let's get into that. I'm like artists. We as artists stop putting expectations on our projects. You know what I mean? I know we all want to do well and want to explode and succeed, and but I think another thing that I forgot to say, but what I found through this book was to stop putting expectations on these things, because I feel like whenever I don't put expectations on something, it does well. But when I do put expectations on something, it tanks, it flops, it does not do well. So what I'm really trying to do is to stop putting expectations on anything I do and just do it. Just do it. Just have fun. Just live. You know what I mean? So I'm not putting any expectations on this video. Whether it tanks, does well, maybe does well, maybe doesn't, maybe do, maybe whatever. So whatever. Let me just get off of this. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I reply to all comments if you do leave a comment. Yeah. I'm Ocenaika, and this is the road to Pretty in Lilac and my new mixtape. This is Road to Pretty in Lilac. I hope you stay for the ride. It's gonna be great, and yeah, bye. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Ocenaika. You can like, comment, and subscribe to show your support. And if you would like to collab, you can hit me on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. I'm not going to answer Facebook, but Instagram, Twitter, all those. You can yes, if you want to collaborate with me, yes, I make music, I sing, I dance, I make YouTube, you know what I mean. Okay, thank you.